So my first few poems are about mental illness. And last year I started working in the field of mental illness properly. The last 2 years, actually. And the first sort of gig that I got facilitating a workshop was for people that were suffering from autism and ADHD. And prior to being in such an intimate environment with them, I just had very, very vague general assumptions on what ADHD is, what autism is. And then when we all sat and we spoke and we opened, it was clear that people's brains worked in different ways, but it was magnificent what was created. To be able to use the brain in another way is technically a superpower. We access to like 10% or something like that of our brain. And people with different illnesses, they access different parts of the brain. And in our sort of education system, it's considered negative. But then when put in a nurturing environment, you can actually see these people become superheroes, basically, and thrive. So this is what this first poem was about. It's called The Original Creatives. Oh, this world is for you. My love, it's for you. It's your canvas for painting. So climb into your skin. There's beauty within. Time to wear all your wonder. I can't be the only one who wishes sometimes to drill a hole 9 by 9 in the side of your retina. Time to time, I reckon you see a scene that deeply disturbs you. I heard you were the closed-off type. The no one knows what he goes through type. The I prefer the inside of my mind type. The I will fight the time of a usual wake-up to allow me more time to dream type. The I don't want to go to the cinema because I prefer the scenes that I see on the inside of my head type. The I wish you would be there more for the me in my dreams and the me that is too scared to even speak to you type. I wish the time that I spent trying to catch a glimpse of the younger you skipping with your gaze from one focus to another brought me closer to you. I care. We are trying to show you that somebody cares. When your fingers move uncontrollably, I know that you're trying to practice the grip of a pen to write poems about the beautiful stories that have time to create and manifest themselves in your brain. I know that you switch off sometimes because you understand that one's dreams should take priority over any false reality. You flinch because you play as a glitch in the game that everybody said you were too dumb to play. You play as a glitch because that too has a malfunction that the world just doesn't understand yet. ADHD, OCD, autism. We care. Your minds are ones that we are daring to delve into. The mentally ill, the original creators. Oh, this world is for you. My love, it's for you. It's your canvas for painting. So climb into your skin. There's beauty within. Time to wear all your wonder. Thank you. Thank you. So my next poem is about, it is really short and it's about Grenfell. I think Grenfell is, don't get me wrong, Britain's done some pretty embarrassing things and handled things in very, very embarrassing ways, but the handling of Grenfell, in my lifetime anyway, has been the biggest embarrassment of Britain. And then to sort of add fuel to the fire, not to compare, but we saw a fire happen not long ago in a middle class and upper class area, and the way that that was handled in comparison to how Grenfell was handled, heartbreaking. Like truly, it got to a point where I had no more words to lend the situation because there was just such an air of helplessness going on. So this poem is really short. I wrote it in honour of the 1 year. One year since we watched entire families burn to death because of neglect, elitism, lack of respect. 1 year on and the sufferers are still suffering. Some suicidal, some homeless, but all are struggling. This is a manifestation of classism. Stay in your flat. whilst they basked in their narcissism. This isn't what God meant when he said ashes to ashes. He also expected humanity to practice compassion. It's a scary place when power comes before empathy. So to the families perished and the families divided, to everyone who was there, today we commemorate this tragedy, and at the very least we lend them a prayer for everyone who witnessed it and everyone who was there. Thank you. So this next poem, he mentioned that I worked with BET, which I did last year. And I did a piece called Little Black Girls. I've just called it that, actually. It didn't have a name until now. I'm going to call it Little Black Girls. And it was basically a letter to myself when I was young. And the way that sort of came about is, well, one, everyone writes sort of letters to themselves as a poet. I feel like most poets have got that poem. But also, I'm involved in a lot of humanitarian work, so aid and refugee work. And what we found is that it's not that there is a lack of care politically, but the foundation is that there's a lack of love. And when I work with younger kids, I find that love is the default. So that's sort of the foundation. And then as we grow older, we're trained to unlove certain things, certain people, certain situations. But then when we are young, we're not exactly trained to love. So that default, what was the foundation, breaks down. So what I feel as though should be done is we should be sowing self-love into the youngest of the young generation, so as they go older, they understand the concept of it. So yeah, this is that poem. Little black girl, my heart lives inside your halo. So the moment you stop considering yourself to be a lunchbox of stars, my ribs bury themselves in my back and I fall flat against this London concrete that was built for you to fly from. So may the soles of your kickers and the flats of your dolly shoes act as an atlas to navigate through this wilderness. Run your fingers through your afro, that tree that this whole culture breathes from. Blue magic drops glistening, adorning your skull. Liquid gold dances down your neck because our parents said that we must always over oil. Because this British weather isn't made for us. Yet this Britain, paved by us, leave out seeping through the pavement, yet waiting to be straightened by those who hold frustrations and assimilations. Leave your leave out, baby girl, we're making space for that. Leave your hairprint on every seat back. Paint your braid pattern, because you are art to everyone and we see that. Your tones to everyone and on a tanning bed in your lips people are paying grands for and your back. Ooh. Don't let them shame you for that. Because in the same breath they'll try and play you for that. Try to tell you have to shake a bit of that, but baby girl, don't ever let them sexualize your black. Because in the same breath they will conceptualize your black to make appropriated crap and you're too lit for all of that. One day, it will be aunties owning the frankincense and myrrh stores that we need for our hair. It will be Oliver Uber and Deliveroo Equa taking us from here to there. And the government will have its own section completely dedicated to us. Not to criminalise our culture, but an ear for all the fuss that comes from being black in this whitewashed light. Dealing with racism from primary school to university times. Outdated teachers' pre-assumptions on every black child. Mental illness labelled spiritual like praying you'll be fine. Social housing perpetuating black on black crime. The media ever only really showing one side. We are more than these guys. We are Dion Abbott to Skepta to Pogba to Grime. Uni runners, Slumflower, Dream Nation, Rewind working twice as hard for half the pay. Swerving abuse with a smile on our face. This Britain is making titans of our black men. This Britain is building diamonds from the pressure. If someone ever throws shade on that little black girl, she better turn around and say, girl, you better see yourself in that London skyline. Big Ben is trying to tell you that it's your time. The millennium wheel is just a shadow of your afro because your melanin is absorbing all of the light. You will shine 10 times brighter than the Shard because your blood runs 100 times deeper than the Thames. Baby girl, you are a lunchbox of stars by force, and every morning I'll remind you that the world is yours. Baby girl, you are a lunchbox of stars by force, and every morning I'll remind you that the world is still yours. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is my last piece, and This is for, I don't know who's been in this situation. I feel like everyone's sort of been in this situation at least once in your life, and if not, then I salute you, where you get to a point of affection towards someone, so not necessarily, it doesn't have to be your partner, but you get to a point of affection for someone where it is so deep and so intense that it just makes you question whether or not they could ever really reciprocate that same feeling. And that sort of brings in a lot of questions. And I think loving someone, so be that a kid, a mum, or a partner, you learn so many new emotions about yourself. You learn about insecurities, you learn about vulnerabilities, you learn about how much you can handle, how much you can't handle. It's just such a learning curve. Like, love is the nucleus of so many other emotions. This is called I Wonder. And usually there's a singer on this track. She's called Sheena, but she's not here, so I'm going to do it. But I can't sing, so bear with me. Do you know I think of you as often as the stars must do the sun? You gave me love when I thought I was full. They say you'll know when you've been loved by your partner heart, and maybe ours. I wonder if you feel forever how I feel with you. You gave me love. You gave me love. I wonder if when you watch me get ready for my day, your chest becomes ablaze with the thought of watching this forever. I'm guessing we're together for a plethora of reasons, but for me, it's the little things that season this love. Like how you exhale into our hugs, melt into my chest, slide and lock our ribs into each other, mirroring our fingers. I squeeze tighter as a promise to keep every bad day away from you as often as I can, and when I can't, I'll still be at the end of them giving you my hand with my heart on it like, take this, it's yours. It will always believe the best in you, even when I can't. It will always warm up when it watches you laugh. It'll always beat faster as it watches you dance like, ooh, yes, son. Hit that beat, hun. It will never get bored of your joy, never, ever take you for granted. Don't even bother with second chances, because I could never, ever, ever lose someone like you to the test. Someone who serves the inside of my mind and maybe forget about all of the rest. I hold the utmost care and respect for you as a person, then as a partner, and then as a man. I love you harder than maybe you could ever really love me. Maybe insecurity is all the wrong person, I don't know, but it's my truth. In you, I see 10 million shades of the sunset explode into clouds and stars when you smile, burning my breath away. I take so many videos, watch them on replay, trace your mannerisms on my eyelids, exhaust myself with you to sleep, obsess over every word that you speak. I forgot so long ago how to play it cool, how to keep a man waiting and chasing, and that shit used to be my groove. But now I'm just this goof tripping over my game for you, put my heart on a plate for you, like, here, take this, it's yours. And sometimes I feel like I should know better, especially as I've still got all of these questions. I'm clever, but I'm prone to leaving my head at the door and forgetting the game is the game. And these days, more often than not, I'm wondering whether you even feel the same. I wonder if you still see the best bits of your mum in me, or maybe a corrected version of her flaws. I wonder if you want to take me everywhere that you go and show me off to all of your boys. I wonder if this love rests stronger than anything you have ever known. I wonder if it makes you wonder how on earth you've been doing this life thing alone. I wonder if you saw the moon grab my hips as I danced, bouncing from curve to curve, tracing your fingers' path. I wonder if Sundays still remind you of me. And Birmingham, Europe, back roads, back straps, books, cabs, tapas. I wonder if they're all stained by me in your head. Do you think of me like R&B? Do I come to mind first when Janae or Drake or Bryson or Tory Lanez? Do I come to mind first when you get good news? Am I the one with the answers when you're confused? Do you still respect my opinion and look up to my views? Do you see me how I see you? An old soul wrapped around a new spine, decorated by new lights, burning through your skin tight, 6'3" with the drive of a new bike, gentle and compassionate, polite and rational, or maybe just a hint of the wild side, but only over me, because men I try to tame the bad guy. You are to be protected, respected, supported. I made it my goal for you to always feel important. But these days I know that vision is mine. And I don't know if you have that same idea as forever in your mind. Do you know I think of you as often as the stars must do the sun? You gave me love when I thought I was full. They say you'll know when you've been loved by your partner heart and maybe ours. I wonder if you feel forever how I feel with you. You gave me love, I gave you love. So I have been Sophia Thakur, and thank you so much for having me.